Previously on One Life to Live.
You gave my story to Todd Manning.
And I won't try to suggest that I'm sorry for doing it. And how dare you accuse me of betrayal after what you did to me?
Todd thinks that the accident is your responsibility. Please, just let me tell him what happened. He will believe me.
You may choose not to.
I will make him believe me.
What was that? Mr. Armitage, who was it? Look, we both think that he saw someone on the yacht, don't we?
No question of it.
Then who the hell was it? What did he say?
Code blue, code blue.
Is he...
You have to go.
He might try to say something.
Not if they can't get him to pull through.
Hey, crisis?
Looks like.
Well, did he give you anything?
No. I think he was trying to finger somebody.
Who, the son who's not the son?
No. He was definite about that. Don't run with that, okay, Kev? Not yet.
Well, give me something.
I'm flying blind right now. Things just got real bad. No go?
He's dead.
It's a crime.
What?
Oh, I was just wondering who's going to inherit that $6 billion if Guy doesn't survive. I mean, he's going to disinherit his son, who's really not his son anyway, and his wife is dead. Oh, you don't think the money's going to go to charity, do you? Not that I begrudge the needy or anything. I could be classified as needy myself.
$6 billion.
It boggles the mind, doesn't it? A shooting lodge in Scotland, an estate in Kent, a townhouse in London, Belgravia, I think he said. A New York duplex in Trump Tower, a villa in Mystique for the winter, the private jet, the yacht, what's left of it. And that doesn't even include the diamond mines, the publishing empire, and everything else. It takes a real special person to be able to appreciate all that.
True.
I have the worst luck with men in boats.
On the other hand, if you were in line for his inheritance, you'd also be first in line as a suspect in that bombing.
True. And 2 murder charges at the same time, even dismissed murder charges, might be detrimental to my political career. Yes. Voters have their limits. So do I. Mr. Gannon is 25 minutes late. Yes, if this were a tennis match, we'd win by default. Oh, we'll win. With the serve right down the middle.
Good afternoon. My apologies, ladies.
I'd prefer that you address me as counselor, or Ms. Delgado. Téa, if it's a social occasion, not lady.
Whoa, and so it begins.
You can call me anything as long as you drop the charges.
That's for judge and jury to decide.
Why risk the embarrassment? Not to mention the cost of 2 trials for the same murder with no conviction to show for it. The Commonwealth of Pennsylvania would not be happy.
Yeah, well, this time we have a confession.
A confession obtained while my client was illegally detained. According to Detective Harrison's own statement, she thought Ms. Olanov might have overheard a conversation between Nora Buchanan and herself. On that assumption alone, she proceeded to follow my client to a nearby beauty parlor.
An abandoned beauty parlor.
Is that illegal?
Suspicious.
Oh, come on. You're reaching. Detective Harrison entered the beauty parlor with her gun drawn, effectively taking my client into her custody. Any confession obtained under those circumstances would be completely inadmissible, and you know it. Fruit of the poisonous tree, I believe that's the legal term. Almost biblical. So the confession's out. Your only available witness is not only biased against his former wife, he also has a history of mental incompetence confirmed by the court. So what else have you got? Mortimer Byrne, also biased, also unreliable, and definitely unavailable.
We have a signed statement from him, however.
An attempt to shift suspicion from himself. He had motive and opportunity. He was on that boat deck with Carlo Hesser. And his disappearance smacks of guilt.
Isn't it sad? Suddenly realizing that your brother wants to kill you just to switch identities.
Well, there's your reasonable doubt right there. Of course, you don't have to introduce Mr. Burns' statement at all. But then, what have you got? You have no case.
Isn't she brilliant? You know, I really do believe that she has a future as our district attorney. After you retire, of course.
Don't flare your nostrils at me.
I never flared a nostril in my life.
You're doing it.
I'm exhaling.
This morning you accused me of 3 things. Manipulation, dishonesty, and betrayal.
Yeah. That about sums it up. So have you come to seek absolution?
No, I'm here to present my counter-charges.
I might have known.
Disloyalty, condescension, and you're a quitter. Shall I take them one at a time?
As opposed to what?
Cute. You may work with words, but don't try and use them as weapons against me.
I respect words. I know their power. I acknowledge their ownership.
All right, let's start with disloyalty, shall we? Did I or did I not champion you for this job?
You do not own me.
I entrusted you with intimate knowledge of me and my family, and you betrayed my trust.
You were not the source of my information about Kelly or about Drew.
Don't nitpick.
Oh, nitpick. Stick to facts.
Oh, condescension. You do that all the time. You feel superior. Why don't you admit it?
So do you. It's the best defense against insecurity.
You feel morally superior.
Well, I'll tell you something. I would never stoop to something like this.
It got your attention, which isn't easy, believe me, when someone thinks they sit to the right hand of God.
Some things that are sacred to me.
Your own ego?
The integrity of my work.
Oh, right. And that covers a multitude of sins, doesn't it? Doesn't it? Sure. You can violate trust. You can destroy intimacy, all in the name of journalism.
Whereas it's okay to be petty, childish, and vindictive all in the name of Dorian?
I did what I had to do to protect me and my family from vicious, unwarranted slander.
It's not slander if it's true. In my hands, Kelly's story would have been redemptive, not damning. That girl was about to self-destruct. 1 or 2 more days and you might have had a suicide attempt to handle.
Now that is slander. You underestimate the Cramer women.
I do not underestimate the Cramer women. My hat is off to Kelly. The way she's handled herself the last 24 hours.
Oh, that was pointed. You admire Kelly and not me?
Kelly did not strike at my vitals. You covered all the bases in one at-bat. Dishonesty, manipulation, betrayal.
Your office seems
You realize
to
that
be
you sound like a
occupied.
broken record?
So it seems.
Manipulation,
Buy you a drink?
dishonesty, betrayal, manipulation, dishonesty, betrayal. Doesn't matter what order it comes in. It all sounds the same, and I don't know how you can expect an apology from me.
So you admit that you owe me one?
I meant nothing of the sort. I expect one from you.
Well, you're not going to get it.
Is it so hard to accept that the great Mel Hayes might be fallible? Just concede a betrayal of trust.
No.
You wouldn't have to spell it out. You could just say, I'm sorry. I'd know what for.
No.
Give me something to work with here.
Well, give me something to work with first.
Like what?
Well, I'm sorry isn't bad.
I will apologize to you when hell freezes over. So where does this leave us?
I suggest we both take one step back.
And do what?
Lay down our weapons.
You'd have to cut out your tongue so you couldn't speak. And cut off your fingers so you couldn't write.
You'd have to gouge out your eyes so you couldn't send a man to his doom.
Sounds painful.
Actually, it is painful.
I really am surprised that you don't understand my position.
If this is going to work, you're going to have to drop these elaborate rationalizations.
Excuse me?
Face it. You did a nasty thing because you were mad at me.
I had every right to be angry at you.
No, not to cop my story and give it to the competition.
You, on the other hand, had no right to browbeat Kelly into a confession so that you could get a story.
No, the story was there anyway.
Talk about elaborate rationalizations.
Oh, for God's sake.
Just because you have got to prove to yourself constantly that you're the greatest reporter in the world.
I've had it.
You see, you're a quitter. You're right. You are disloyal, dishonest, condescending, and a quitter. Mel?
You ready to call it quits?
Don't party just yet. I may have to drop murder one, but Alex's legal troubles are far from over.
What do you mean?
She held a police officer hostage at gunpoint. Now, I've got a debt to rights on that, so don't start.
We're already on court calendar. Do you want to keep the date, or do you need more time?
Well, I'm prepared. Are you, counselor?
I am. And in the interest of saving the people of Pennsylvania money, and in light of all the publicity that might make it hard to seat a jury, my client waives her right to a jury trial.
You want a bench trial?
It's a fairly straightforward case. We'll present the evidence and let Judge Dory decide.
It's okay with you?
Oh, I really believe she knows what she's doing.
All right. I'll see you in court.
Good luck.
She can't wriggle out of this.
We'll have our day in court. That's all we ask. Thanks, Hank.
Score! That worked.
You were brilliant. Brilliant. I got us the bench trial you wanted. I hope it pays off.
Oh, it will.
You see, that is Judge Jack Dory, my dear.
Oh. I need to speak to a court clerk.
Good. Take your time.
Hi.
Do I know you?
Well, I know you by reputation alone. We didn't get to work together when I was the mayor.
Ah, yes. Ms. Olanov. You were indicted for...
Murder. But the charges have been reduced to aggravated kidnapping. You can call me Alex. You're about to hear all of the intimate details of my personal life.
Beg pardon?
In your courtroom, of course. I've asked for a bench trial. So really, my fate is right in your hands.
Well, might be wise to avoid any charges of impropriety.
Whatever you say, Rascal.
What was that?
Rascal Jack. That's what they call you, isn't it? I mean, I really, really admire a man's stamina. And at your age, I was just wondering, who do you think wrote your phone number in the fourth stall of the ladies' room here at the courthouse? Do you think maybe it was
Cheat Cheat for fun, or Boom Boom, or Big Susie, or romancing Cheat Cheat loves you so much.
What do you want?
Well, given all the things I know about you, I think you should see that I get a fair trial, that's all. And then, of course, I'm going to be going back into politics, running for mayor again in November. I'm going to need a man with stamina behind me or beside me or whatever. You know what I mean?
Should I ask?
Mission accomplished.
How high did you raise his blood pressure? We don't want the man to have a stroke.
Well, not before the trial. Do we need backup?
Yeah, it would be wise. But what could we use as leverage?
Did you get my message?
No, what about?
I asked you to bring Alex by the DA's office.
Oh, we already had that meeting.
This is about something else.
Why do I get blamed for every little thing that goes wrong in this town?
There's been some new developments in the Guy Armitage case.
Kelly, of all people.
She's not much more than a child herself.
I just thought it would be somebody...
Somebody what? Somebody you could hate?
Yes.
Hate is like a storm over the ocean. It needs heat. When I think of Brendan, I'm cold. I think of Kelly, I'm even colder. Thank God you're warm. Keep taking from you. Just keep taking. What did I ever give to you?
Don't you know? You accepted me for who I am, and Kelly, and how many others, without judgment. Give us time and space to heal. If I can do it, Kelly can. And with that time, she will begin to trust again and believe she's worthy of love. And if she's to come through this hole, it will be because of you. It's just one reckless, impulsive act that changed the lives of so many forever, including hers.
Authorities have not ruled out a terrorist act in the bombing of Sir Guy Armitage's yacht last night.
Oh, my God.
Sir Guy died a short time ago at Landview Hospital. There have been no arrests. The police are investigating.
Last night when we were out of town, I mean, I knew he had a lot of enemies, but a bomb? A terrorist bomb? It seems incredible.
Nothing. Just reminded me of something that happened in Ireland a long time ago.
What, a terrorist act like this?
Yeah. Another right-wing publisher got blown up in his yacht. 2 people died that night.
Time of death is 5:48. Cardiac arrest as a result of smoke inhalation, internal injuries, and burns. Try and find a decent photo of the guy, will you?
My father always expressed a desire to be cremated. So I'll take care of the arrangements, have them shipped back to England.
I'll inform the morgue.
So are condolences in order? Or would that be hypocritical?
Nobody deserves to have their life taken from them.
That's the politically correct answer, I guess. Ian, excuse me, but I heard you
referred to him as your father, but he wasn't, was he?
It's about all I had in the father department. The man in there fed me, clothed me, tried to make me over in his own image. God help me. God help him.
One Life to Live will continue in a moment here on ABC.
I know you say these things go in cycles, but hello, the banner cycle seems to be down, down, and the sun's cycle seems to be up, up.
Well, there's not a lot of good news in this report.
You know something? Todd is making serious inroads into our circulation base.
Well, darling, the public isn't stupid. Now, every now and then they might want some sensationalism, but when it comes right down to it, they want meat and potatoes journalism.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Besides, we got Mel Hayes now.
Yeah, well, the Sun scooped Mel's latest story, thanks to Dorian.
Yeah, and from what we saw in my office, that little situation is on the rocks. She won't be getting any more pillow talk out of him.
Nobody calls me a quitter.
Quitter!
Damn it, Dorian. Renee?
You walked out in the middle of our discussion.
That wasn't a discussion. That was a bloodletting. Oh, thank God. Give me a table for one.
2.
1.
Make it 2, or so help me, I'll stand here in the middle of everybody and I will call you a quitter.
I have nothing more to say to you. Not that you heard anything I said in the first place.
Right this way.
Well, my office is free.
No, we have to stay here and make sure our star reporter's all right.
My money's on Mel.
Don't bet on it. Dorian invented Tenacious. In fact, $50 says she has the last word.
Darling, you're covered. You are on.
Dinner or drinks only?
Just a martini, please. Mrs. Lord was just leaving.
Miss Lord is staying.
In that case, 3 martinis, Renee. Just line them up.
I'll have a Lillet on the rocks.
You won't be needing these steak knives, I hope. I didn't realize that these would be ringside seats. I can find you a quieter table. No, not on your life. No, we have money riding on the outcome of this. Maybe I should make book on this myself, turn a little profit on the side.
Today's special is trout manure.
Is it fresh?
Only if it can't control itself around a pretty salmon.
Is it fresh?
Of course it's fresh. Leave the poor man alone.
I'd like to see it.
What, you want to see a raw fish? Can't you take his word for it? I had the trout yesterday. It was excellent.
And your word is your bond.
Why are you standing there?
Go, get me the fish now.
Isn't there anybody you trust?
My standards are higher than other people's.
Not higher than mine, by recent evidence.
Oh, they're at least as high as yours.
Does absolutely everything have to go exactly the way you want it to go?
Don't tell me that you don't demand the best from yourself and everybody else.
With you, it does no good.
We both fight for what we believe in.
I don't fight over fresh fish.
Well, maybe you should. You could get ptomaine poisoning.
Oh, all right. Why don't you just say it a little louder, then Renee can sue you for defamation.
Oh, for heaven's sake, I'm sure that Renee's fish is just fine.
Well, then why did you tell that poor beleaguered waiter to go back into the kitchen and get it? What are you planning to do with it? Sniff it?
Are you embarrassed?
Yes.
I don't stand on ceremony.
How about common courtesy?
I said please to the man.
You did not.
I think it's phony to say please and thank you and I'm sorry all the time when you don't really mean it.
Well, we don't really have to worry about you saying I'm sorry anytime real soon. This is pretty much hell, and it ain't freezing over.
Round 1 to Mel, I think.
Is Miss Olanov a suspect?
A material witness. She was at the scene.
Recognize this?
I need to consult with my client in private.
If you think it's necessary.
You can't spring something like this on us. So whose cab is it?
When Guy and I were going down the gangplank to go to dinner, we heard a noise, and then we saw someone with a cap like that and a tweed jacket. Is this our Elbridge?
You bet it is. Can you identify the man?
He's a friend.
This could be your ticket to freedom. My client is ready to cooperate, but we'd like some consideration in return.
Uh-huh. And now you want a plea bargain on the kidnapping after I've dropped the murder one charge.
You what?
I'll explain later. And you, detective, you need to bone up on your police procedure.
Do we have a deal?
If you have relevant information about the bombing, you are obliged to reveal it.
My client will do her best to remember, but you all know how it is when you're under stress.
And would it help that stress if her cooperation were a matter of record at the time of sentencing?
I believe it would.
We were going down the gangplank to go have dinner, and we heard a noise. We saw someone with a tweed jacket and a cap like that one.
Who was it?
I thought I recognized it as Patrick Thornhart.
It's over. He almost nailed me, though. Right before he croaked. Oh, cut it out. Nobody was supposed to die. It's his own fault. Didn't get off the damn boat. At least Patrick is gonna take the blame. I mean, he deserves that after what he did to Starr and Blair. Now what? I don't want to hear one kaboom out of you. You got that?
Hi, is this a bad time?
Yeah, it is. If you're here to play Dorian's messenger, I'm not in...
No, it's about Blair.
Blair? Oh, come on in. What's she okay?
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
Then what is it?
Look, I was just at the police station. It's all gonna come out real soon now.
Look, it was an accident, right? That means that it wasn't murder.
How did you know?
No. Know what?
That I was driving the car that forced Patrick off the road that night. Oh, God.
Thornhart told the truth? Patrick Thornhart was telling the truth? You're making this up.
No, it's true. I am so sorry.
This is great. This is just great.
I shouldn't have been driving. I know. I was crying over Joey. It was cold and rainy outside. I couldn't even see the road. I was crying so hard. I reached down to change the cassette, and suddenly these headlights heading right towards me. We would have crashed if he hadn't have swerved.
Who, Thornhart?
Yes, and I didn't know this, okay? I should have stayed after I reported it. And I know that wouldn't have saved the baby. And I know this doesn't change anything, Todd.
Oh, no, this changes everything. Change... everything. Get out.
Todd, I'm so...
Get out.
Todd...
Get out! I didn't even get that right.
You're like a game of pinball.
Excuse me.
I take a nice, straightforward shot at you. I get my little flippers going like mad. The ball caroms off the bumpers. I think I'm racking up points. Tilt. I lose my turn.
That's an adolescent analogy.
Oh, I thought you liked them young.
Get your checkbook out, darling.
No, I am not ready to concede defeat. No, no, no. Dorian's about to let him have it. I recognize the look in her eye. I have a pitcher of water ready in case there's a knockout. Thank you.
I haven't had this much fun in years.
Vicarious pleasures? Ooh.
What?
I didn't know you were such a voyeur. Oh.
So first I'm manipulative and dishonest, and then I'm a pinball. What else?
Betrayal was in there somewhere, too.
Oh, yes, of course, there is that. Yes, I did betray some archaic code of journalistic ethics, but you betrayed me, and Kelly, and Blair, and Starr, and the list goes on and on. You put that on the scale of injustice, and tilt. I win.
It's not some kind of competition, you know.
Oh? A minute ago, you were playing pinball, remember?
That was to illustrate your infuriating inconsistency, which is only to be surpassed by your execrable manners.
My manners are perfect. I am one of the most gracious people I know. Except when it comes to disloyal, condescending quitters. Why, I'm even gracious to people who don't expect me to be. Like Carlotta. She used to work for me as my maid. Do I treat her like my maid? What's that?
It's your damn trout. Is it fresh enough for your gracious highness?
Condescension and now sarcasm. That's it. I've had enough. I am through.
Oh, no, you're not. You forgot something. Dorian!
Well, you call that right. She had the last word. But you know what? I'll never forget the sight of Mel Hayes sprinting out of here, packing that dead fish.
Nah, put your money away. That fight is far from over. You never chased me around with a dead fish.
No, I damn sure didn't. I can't even picture it.
Why not?
Well, probably because you never ordered fish. Besides, that's not something that you do to a lady.
And that's what I am?
Darling, that goes without saying. You know that. Hell, everybody knows that. Besides, when's the last time you raised your voice in public like she just did? Editorial meetings accepted.
When is the last time that you confronted somebody head-on who had hurt you? Me, for instance. Never mind. I'm not going to turn into Dorian Lord in front of your eyes, don't worry.
There's small chance of that. You know, if you felt like it, maybe we could order some dinner.
I would like that. I just wonder how it would feel to be so uninhibited. I guess I'm kind of envious.
The special today is trout manure.
Well, you certainly don't expect me to hang around that lobby, do you? Not after being publicly harangued by a man waving a smelly old fish.
It's your fish. Take it.
I don't want it.
You ordered it.
I'm not hungry anymore.
Well, I'm starving.
My nostrils are flaring.
You're damn right. Here.
Hold this.
Go soak your head. Oh, so I made a mistake. Okay, I made a couple of mistakes. I don't want you rubbing my beak in it. Go away! Well, maybe she inherited the $6 billion. I mean, that would justify blowing a guy to Kingdom Come, right?
Bubbly for my benefactor.
Should write copy for the Sun.
Oh, thank you. A new job.
So what did I benefact?
My brilliant counselor.
The DA dropped the murder one charge.
Used to let anybody walk around the streets these days.
Alex still has to face an aggravated kidnapping charge, but we're in a good position to plea bargain.
All because of that horrible explosion. Can you imagine? I mean, I knew that guy would be lucky for me. Although I had something completely different in mind. Oh, what are you going to do?
Improvise, I guess.
Exactly. I just hate the fact that my good luck came at the expense of such a good friend. They gave me absolutely no choice. I had to implicate Patrick. Champagne, Todd.
Hello?
We have a few questions for you, Patrick.
Sounds official.
It is.
Come on in.
Hey, thought I heard the doorbell. What's up?
An eyewitness has connected you to the bombing at the Armitage yacht.
Stay tuned for scenes from the next One Life to Live.
Tomorrow on One Life to Live.
It's going to take more than a credit union to stop this.
The old will is still in effect, the one with my name on it.
Hank, do you think I'll go to jail?
What do you think is fair?
Excuse me, you know what these are?
This is Charles Gibson.
And Elizabeth Vargas. Tomorrow, a musical performance from the soulful Frida Payne.
And how to bring your golf game up to par.
Plus, behind the scenes with Hercules.
The weekend starts with Good Morning America tomorrow.
Will Emily's flashbacks lead her to the truth about Dorman's murder? Watch what happens on General Hospital, following an ABC News brief. Next.